Good morning. I'm Dr. Lisa Lindsay Wicker, host of the Career Mastered Inside Career Success Show. I am thrilled to be with you on this grand rising of Wednesday morning. I am in an onset in Detroit, Michigan. We have just completed the Career Master Brunch with the Masters Detroit style on yesterday at the Detroit Athletic Club. And I had to reflect this morning emotionally on what happened in the atmosphere of the Detroit Athletic Club. I got to tell you, it was short of incredibly amazing. It was powerful women connecting. It was impact on the moment we arrived to the time we left. Our special guest was Ariva Martin, multi-award winning civil rights attorney. You might have seen her on the Dr. Phil show on CNN as a contributor. She is also the founder of Martin and Martin legal offices out in California and an advocacy for autism. She dropped some gems, left us with knowledge on leadership, how to be a leader, how to have voice, how to be bold, how to show up in rooms. And she is a powerful voice. So I want to personally just give her a shout out this morning for arriving in Detroit and setting the room on fire. And then I want to also thank our ambassadors in the Detroit market, Donna Joseph Kemp, Gail Perry Mason, and Denise Brooks Williams. Thank you, wonderful women who are in my life that have always supported us. But thank you for hosting with me on yesterday. And then I want to give a shout out to Dr. Sabrina Jackson and to Kim Boudreaux Smith, all of who also played a role. Our MC, Tati Amari from Live in the D on Channel 4, who helped walked us through the afternoon brunch with mimosas, and she moderated absolutely well for us, as she always does. And then Jody Triweller, who gave us the invocation. I could go on and on and on. Our sponsors, the presenting sponsor for the Detroit brunch was Ally Financial. I want to thank Ally. They have been with us, oh my goodness, since 2016. They have always shown and connection with the communities that they serve. So I want to thank them for that. And then we had ITC Holdings, Corewell Health. We also had Henry Ford. We have, again, I don't want to forget anybody, ITC Holdings I mentioned, Comerica Bank, and the list goes on and on. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for more than 100 women and allies that showed up in Detroit. I am ecstatic. And so now, as I think about May, we have held our brunch with the Masters in New York. We ended that brunch at the New York Stock Exchange, a historical moment and footprint and defining moment, actually, for Career Mastered, celebrating our 10 years just last year. And this year, we had a chance to take 20 delegates to visit and to have our own special time on the floor of the Stock Exchange on the ringing of the bell on May 1st. On May the 6th, none other than my Charlotteans, my Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina, showed up big time at Myers Park Country Club. And actually, my guest today was an honoree during that particular event where we had the conversation about leadership, making connections there. Elyshia Brooks, we're going to talk with her today. And then I just want to share before Elyshia comes on that our summer magazine will be releasing Career Mastered in just another week. And on that cover, of course, is April Simpkins, who is shown here. April was our top honoree at the Charlotte event. She is the president and founder of Chelsea K. Christ Foundation, as well as April Simpkins Enterprise, and the author with her daughter who passed away by the time you read this. She has also had, I think, a New York Times bestseller there. And so, as you can see, we have amazing, powerful women that we connect with, we communicate with, and we have a movement on ensuring that women have leadership opportunities, not only in corporate suites, but also in the boardroom and as entrepreneurs. And today's guest, I would like to bring her on, is Elyshia Brooks. Hi, Elyshia.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us from Charlotte, North Carolina. I'll be back there soon.
Yeah.
I want to introduce you to our audience. And today's audience, I'd like you to meet Elyshia Brooks. She is a magnetic branding strategist, award winning entrepreneur, and the powerhouse CEO of BrandNiquely You, Incorporated. With a master's in business administration and a passion for unlocking the unique brilliance of every woman, Elyshia helps high achieving professionals, entrepreneurs, and leaders own their identity and slay boldly in their brand. Over the past decade, Elyshia has empowered thousands of women to clarify their purpose, amplify their voice, and position themselves for greater influence, impact, and income. Now, you all should lean in forward if you need any of all of that. Through her signature frameworks, transformational coaching, and captivating speaking, Elyshia delivers more than branding. She creates movements. Her philosophy is simple yet profound. When you show up in your truth, the world makes room for your brand. I think that is absolutely so true. She's a sought after speaker, and she continues to help women lead intentionally with authenticity, connection, and confidence. And so let's meet Anisha. Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome for me. Thank you. I love
Um,
you, Dr. Lisa.
what'd you say?
I just love you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I love you too. Actually, I'm excited to finally connect. I mean, you and I have had a chance to meet one another periodically throughout the Charlotte marketplace in various events. And I think I met you originally at a Goodwill event. I can't remember. I might have been
Years
Natalie
ago.
Williams events. Yeah. And so today we're driving deep into the power of personal branding with your conversation here with me. And so we're going to just jump right in
Okay.
and let people get to know you a little bit more. So, welcome to the show. And tell us about your journey and the story behind BrandNiquely You and how you came about naming it that and how you all got to this point.
Okay. Well, thank you. First, honored to be here. So thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
My journey started with being in the boardrooms of corporate America and the heart of community advocacy. So I saw firsthand how women are so brilliant. The executives, creatives, change makers who were shrinking themselves. I too did it myself, and they were misaligned with who they truly were. And so they were seen as their titles, not just about their essence. And so that didn't sit right with me. And so I launched BrandNiquely You, which emerged from initially a professional event planning company to my background is marketing. And so I've done all of that, but I launched BrandNiquely You to empower women unapologetically to walk in their own brilliance and turn their identity into a legendary legacy brand. It's more than just their name, a logo, and their social media handles. And so I did a great deal of work in putting in frameworks that help merge personal mastery, lifestyle branding, and business visibility, and anchored it into BrandNiquely You.
Wow.
So that was my biggest thing.
I love it. I love it. So, when you were a little girl, did you have any idea that you would be here in this space at this moment? Like, not necessarily this moment, but this
Mhm.
space of branding.
Well, I knew at 15 that I was called to Women Across Nations. It wasn't until in DECA class that I fell in love with marketing and advertising and branding.
Mhm.
I didn't know what that looked like. So in college, I was all into SIFE, Students in Free Enterprise, where we worked on public speaking. And so I'm like, okay, this has to intertwine in some form or fashion.
Mhm.
But to actually I knew it had to do something with women. I didn't know exactly how it's going to come about,
Yeah.
but I'm excited. I love, love, love what I do. I get up every morning because I get to,
Yeah.
not because I have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I love it.
I love it. Well, our theme this year for the Brunch with the Masters, and actually for our movement with Career Mastered, is making connections. Women who lead in branding strategies is probably aligned with that. What does that mean to you about making connections? It starts with her.
Well, let's see. For me, I say a phrase is a clarion call. So that's for me. So women who lead as branding strategists aren't just curating images. We're not just doing that. We're curating impact. And so I look for women who are ready to connect the dots between their identity and their influence, between their purpose and their position. And they don't just wear the brand, but they embody it. And so that's my biggest thing. And when it comes to making connections, I want you to think of your brand as not for popularity. Um, when you're looking at your brand, you're looking at branding your legacy and how you connect with people. Is it aligned with who you are and where you're going, and also in your leadership? So, connecting that is a huge tactic, but it's transformative. And so, I think if women could get that piece when it comes to making connections and standing up in who they are, then their authenticity will just transform people, everyone who they embody, who they come into contact with, engage with. So,
Well, I think a lot of women want to do that. It's a matter of not necessarily knowing how to do it. What would you say are some, maybe just some common branding mistakes that you see, because you deal with women globally? How do you help them correct common mistakes, and give us an example of some of them?
okay. So, I think the biggest common mistake is confusing branding with visibility.
Hmm.
That's huge. And just being seen doesn't mean that you're being felt. And so, other common mistakes I think are branding based on trends and not your truth, copying others instead of tapping into what makes you brand unique. I
Hmm.
think if you are looking at other people out there in social media world and you're taking bits and pieces of everybody else, you're not actually being authentic when you show up. And so that's a huge one. And then not having a clear brand message that tells the world about your brilliance.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so when I get to empower and educate women who I come in contact with, that they need to like excavate their identity first and become more than just the aesthetics.
I like that. You said not having a clear brand message.
Yeah.
So tell us why it's so important for women that are really truly ready now. I believe in ready now. Okay. 'Cause you can be joking around like, I want to do this, but you really haven't like intentionally say, I'm getting ready to invest and do all of that. What when you work with women on branding, tell us why, especially with women. I'll take myself for example. It's important to have a not only a branding strategy but a marketing strategy.
Mhm. Um, for that, you have to have, I always say you have to have a brand first before you start marketing. And
Mhm.
so that goes back to finding out who you are at your core, where you desire to go, where you're working on going,
Mhm.
and then taking that and then creating the strategy behind that. You don't want to show up everywhere, but you show up where your particular clients are or where your particular audience is. You don't want to just show up everywhere because then you're speaking to the masses and you
Mhm.
don't want to be like Walmart and just try to get everybody in. You want to speak directly to and show up in those places where one, you're celebrated, two, you're needed, and three, where people can see your brilliance and
Mhm.
appreciate. So
Mhm.
those are the big things when it comes to branding and marketing.
I love it. So, can you share like a moment when your branding, coaching, or strategy shifted to direct the trajectory for someone you worked with? You don't even have to tell us the name. Like, what did you do, and why do you believe it shifted the trajectory of that person?
Um, yes. So I had a client. She was a brilliant corporate executive, but she felt like she was invisible and undervalued, which I felt like that too before.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so she thought she needed another certification, another degree, another this, another that, so that she could be taken seriously. And what she actually needed was to really find her brand clarity, find out who she was at the core and what excites her. And so we worked on her, I call Brandnique Essence, and so she can articulate her signature brand and how she wanted to show up in the world.
Mm-hmm.
We refined that and built that into her leadership visibility. And so
Wow.
she went from being overlooked to being booked and branded and promotions. And now she's now leading her own panels, having her own programs outside of her corporation and getting paid for it for her intellectual capital.
Yeah.
So
So
she's
they
like,
monetized. She monetized her skill.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Awesome. Awesome. So I would ask, like, on the social media platform, you see people on TikTok or Instagram, and I can tell who's doing what, right? Those
Mhm.
that are really doing a great job. I try my best at it, but I know I could do some things better. Are there any particular social media platforms that you would say do better, or could you maybe identify for our audience what platform should work for what? Like, we're working with women on corporate leadership, we're working with women that are trying to get on boards, but some of those women also are, let's say, entrepreneurs who are trying to sell products. Can you tell us, kind of differentiate between what platforms people should be branding themselves on for what their purposes are? Just some examples.
Sure. So social media is like your digital boardroom. And so having a seat at the table is already yours. So just think of it like that. But for leadership, I think LinkedIn is queen for professionalism. For connection and storytelling, I would say definitely Instagram and TikTok. Those are two rising and continue to rising powerhouse platforms. So, especially for women who are leading and have personality, I think
Hmm.
those are the two big ones.
Hmm.
But then you want to have something that has some automation so that you can be visible, but you also want to be nurturing. So tools like Canva, of course, Flowdesk, and ChatGPT
Hmm.
can revolutionize how you show up. Um, your biggest tool overall is your voice. And so strategizing is important to know which one, and but nothing replaces the substance you bring. So whatever platform you're on, bring yourself and bring your substance.
Hmm.
You're
Hmm.
going to be in leadership. I definitely would say platform for LinkedIn because LinkedIn has done some amazing different things that you can use, like this platform for doing podcasts
Yeah.
and newsletters.
Hmm.
And so you definitely use that if you're wanting to get your voice out there and meet other professional people.
Hmm. I love it. So now tell us about connections, because that's our theme for this year. How do you prepare your clients to make important connections for their brands?
Okay. So I love teaching them on how to lead from the inside out. You can't connect outwardly if you haven't really connected inwardly. And
Mhm.
so that's why I take people from the inside out. We build brands from the inside out, looking at, more importantly, what you are about, what you like about yourself, what is aligned with who you are, and how are you being felt. And so we focus on looking at your emotional intelligence,
Mm,
or authentic storytelling. Everyone has a story, but people connect through stories.
yeah.
And that's how people remember people.
Hmm.
And creating a safe magnetic space for dialogue. So whether they're leading a team or launching a program or showing up online, it is rooted in their truth and their authenticity. I think our authenticity is our superpower as women. And that's what's going to last.
Wow.
If you're trying to be something that you're not, people can tell that, people can feel the aura, the essence of that. And you don't want to do that when it
Yes.
comes to
Yes.
connecting.
So tell me more about, or how can people learn more about your business, Brand Uniquely? How do they get in contact with you so that if they are a woman that's just starting out and need to think about their brand?
So I have a website, BrandNiquelyYou.com, and you can go get on my calendar for a 30-minute chat with me. And we can like deep dive into, well, not really deep dive, but I get an essence of who you are and what you're wanting to do. That's first thing.
Yeah.
And then I'm on social media on all of them at Elyshia Brooks or at BrandNiquely You. But I like the connection with people, getting to know who they are. And so I really do encourage individuals to get on my calendar because I am always going to empower, educate, and engage with you. And so I want to be able to connect with you.
Yeah, because you said, people connect through storytelling. Like, is there a framework that you use to help them understand their stories? Because a lot of people don't, they can feel it, they live it, but they can't articulate it.
Um, so storytelling is look at it as not perfection, but you are embracing your excellence, right? And so people connect with your progress. You don't have to necessarily be polished. And your story doesn't have to be so dramatic and divine where you're trying to one up on people, trying to tell this dramatic story. Just be yourself, be
Yeah.
real. I teach my clients to brand story arc. So before the brand, where were you? Then there's the breakthrough piece. So what happened? And then you have the becoming. So who are you now? And what do you really want to stand for going forward? So with that, it brings confidence, clarity, and repetition. Because the more you get a feel for that story, then you can feel natural in telling your story and feel confident in telling it. And so the more you tell it, the more you own it. And so the more you own it, it becomes your power source. And so you're not speaking to different audiences on 10 million different things. You're sharing your story authentically
Yeah.
and doing the before the brand, the breakthrough, and then becoming.
Well, I'm going to continue with that because I know I work with women all over the globe. And one of the things that I think is probably my pet peeve, I mean, I have a few, but I think this one is it. When I ask a woman, because she's going to be in our magazine for
Mm-hmm.
a professional photo and they don't have one, and they send me these pictures behind a tree or, outside of the grocery store. I mean, it's just, I shake my head like, okay, we're supposed to be professional.
Right.
We're supposed to be ready.
Right.
Okay. Don't let opportunities pass you by. And
Right.
you're all out here doing like all of this marketing and branding. You don't have a professional photo. Like help me understand how this works that you haven't been to get a sit down professional photo. So
Right.
tell me what you tell your clients or any woman listening, because I'm not a brand strategist, but one thing I do know is you need a photo. Okay. And
Absolutely.
to have my graphics designer have to redo your photo or just not include you because you don't have a 300 DPI photo and it's blurry. And so help me with that.
That is a pet peeve of mine too. That's the first thing. So I asked for a photo, and then because you're gonna need a photo for your media kit or your anything that you're gonna send out, your bio, like you want to have a professional photo. If you're gonna have a media kit, you can have all the other lifestyle photos in there. But a headshot,
Yes.
you can do that. Like
Yes.
you can do that.
Yeah.
Now with all the technology, you could take the picture. My favorite app
Yeah.
with pictures is Beauty Plus.
Okay. Say that again so people can get it. Beauty Plus. What do we do?
Beauty Plus, and the app is a free version, but you can take the most beautiful pictures. I don't even have to have makeup on, and it looks like I have makeup on.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can put it on a back wall, clear white wall, and take a beautiful photo.
Right.
And that could be your photo.
Yeah.
You don't have to, you can't afford to go get professional photos.
Yeah.
Then yes, you can use that. Otherwise, it's $56 a year, but they have a free version
Yeah.
that you can absolutely use.
Beauty
And
Plus.
even now with these cameras on your phone, it's amazing pictures.
Yes, I like that. I just put that in the chat because
Yeah.
it's not that women don't have time. It's not that they don't want to do it. It's just that priorities and things get in the way. And I just really feel like, at the drop of a moment, you need a photo, especially for me. And I think I probably have this fixation on this because magazines are based upon time factors.
Mm-hmm.
And I really don't have time to wait for 2 weeks for you to give me a photo. I have to get busy, right? So sometimes I just have to pass. But at the end of the day, it's a simple. I call it the top 5 key things that you need for branding, and
Absolutely.
that's one is the photo. The second one to me is a media kit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe I don't know what the other 3 are, but you definitely have some priorities if you're going to be in the marketplace, right?
Yeah.
For branding and being professional. Again, with photos that are usable by if MSNBC called you.
Right. You got to be ready.
Yes.
Like at least invest in that.
Yes.
Because you don't know. Oprah might call you and like, I need your media kit. I need your bio. Give me a headshot. What you
Yes.
gonna do?
Yes.
Go scrambling around trying to find you.
I don't want to miss $1 million because I don't have a photo. So I have to definitely get it. And the other thing about branding that, I think people should be aware of is consistency in the look and feel. So I learned that early when I started Career Master that I didn't need to have 15 different graphics designers and 15 different marketing people. You have to be consistent so that when you put things out, and I hope you see through Career Master that everything we do is consistent.
Yeah.
That I can't keep going from here to there to get things done. So
Yeah.
I think maybe I'm giving that out. I don't know what you think
No,
about
that is definitely true. Consistency. Your brand, like when I see Career Mastered, I see the beautiful colors. I see the fonts. Like I'm tuned into things like that. And so even at your events, beautiful pictures, right? The background and backdrops and the way the ambiance. So that's what your brand is. Like you have to know your why behind it, but you have to be clear and have clarity. But the consistency part is showing up. So when people see you on social media or if you're on the stage or you are wherever, they know that's your brand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's consistent and you're not trying to do this and this and that. And everyone knows you for that one thing.
Yep.
Although we have plenty of other things that we love to do,
Yes.
but they know you for that one thing and it's consistent.
Yeah. And that's what, like I told you, when I first started out from a corporate space, it was hard for me. I didn't like being on social media, still don't. But I was told, you're the brand, Lisa. So you have to be out front. I was like, oh, no, that's not working. I don't even want to take pictures.
Yeah.
But I quickly had to learn, okay, if I'm going to make the brand happen, I have to be the person that if they say, well, who is Career Master? Well, Lisa Wicker is the Career Master. Who is BrandNiquely You? It's Elyshia, right? And so those are the things that I think were lessons for me just starting out. What one piece of advice I guess you would leave women with today who feel unseen or unsure of how to define her brand?
I would say take the time to reflect on who you are at the core, your essence, and figure out how you want to show up. How do you want people to receive you? And know that it's important for you to do just that part first, because the world will create a brand for you. They
Yes.
will tell stories for you.
Yes.
And so you have to be open and honest to own your brand and show up that way.
Yes.
Don't let others control it for you.
Right.
But also truly be authentic when it
Mhm.
comes to that, because when you put out consistent authenticity, people will then trust you. They will know that she's about her business.
Yes.
She owns her story, she owns her brand, good or bad or whatever it is. But know that that's who you are, but create a brand promise that is clear of your message to the world,
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
and how you want to show up. And so, like I always say, when people leave me, I use my E's because my name starts with E and it's just easy for me to remember. Like Elyshia is always going to empower you. I'm
Mhm.
always going to engage with you. I don't meet a stranger. And
Mhm.
I'm always going to educate you so that you can elevate. So it's something that you want them to leave with, knowing about who you are.
Mhm.
That becomes like your brand experience when people are engaged with you at some point. So just own that. But do the reflection part if you don't do anything else on how you want to be seen.
I love it. I love it. Because a couple of things I'll say, and I'm using myself in your conversation with me today because as
Mhm.
an entrepreneur, like transitioning from corporate to entrepreneurship, there were some changes that I had to make. And so,
Mhm.
a couple of things you just said, I think, has been key for my success. You just finished 10 years. We're on our 11th year here with Career Master.
Yay.
Create a brand promise. We
Mhm.
didn't get to have the opportunity to go to the New York Stock Exchange because of me just saying I'm here. I had to create a brand promise that people trust.
Right.
And I'll say that as my experience, people ask me often, well, how did you get your sponsors? How do you get it's through the brand promise that I put together. From the time I started to now, I had to work hard by sponsoring a lot of things myself, but then they saw me putting into the work my own sweat and my own skin in the game, and then
Yeah.
the promise that I made with the brand. And so I think that advice that you just said about create a brand promise, you
Mhm.
know, I say to women, what have you been promising yourself?
Right.
So is part of that promise in your brand?
Mhm.
So if it is, how do you execute on that?
Mhm.
Yeah. So I thank you. So I'm going to quickly ask a couple of questions, then we'll let go.
Okay.
Is what are you reading today? This is just off the top. What are you reading today?
What am I reading today? It's over there. I would get it, but it's the this book. I can't cyber hybrid. I forgot how I say it. But anyway, I love this book because it talks about your self-esteem, and you will only go as far as your self-esteem will allow you to.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so
Well,
I love
when you get a chance, just put it back in the remarks because they'll be
yes,
on
I
there
will.
and see it. And then, how does AI? Give me one tip for AI and branding.
AI can help you, but you have to know what to put in it.
Okay.
And so when it comes to AI, you it's going to spit out what you put in it, but you still have to add your
Yes.
essence, sprinkle your brilliance to it so
Yes.
that you can make it your own. A lot of people use AI, but they don't know how to use it. If
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So use it to help put yourself out there, your messaging, but make sure it's something that you can own and add your excellence to it, because you don't want to sound like everyone else, because
No.
AI can give you something that it gives everyone else, but you have to know how
Make
to
it.
use it and make it your own.
And so, what's next for BrandNiquely You?
Yes. So in September, I have my personal brand intelligence, the first cohort. It's a 12-week cohort that I will be offering through BrandNiquely You Academy.
Awesome.
And so I'm excited about that.
Well, be sure to put in the notes when you go back to look at this, view this, how people can sign up, raise their hand for the cohort. And is there a particular audience that you're looking for in that cohort?
I really would love to work with women leaders, corporate professionals, business CEOs, and even just women who want to elevate themselves and their brand.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
those are the three.
Well, it's been great. I appreciate you. And first of all, congratulations on what's coming. And then secondly, congratulations on being a Diversity Impact 50 honoree for 2025 with Career Master, a national award from the Career Master magazine team. So thank you. And shout out to your the person who nominated you, Pamela. She's on. Hey, Pamela. Good to
Yes, I love her.
And then, of course, I have my star team member, Lindell McEwen, on. And then we have an honoree also from your class, Carol Davis, is on as well.
Oh, yes.
And hopefully you'll go back and for those that are going to hop on after this has played, you go for the replay. Please go back and look at the notes we put in. There's some great tips that Elyshia Brooks provided us. She's the CEO, again, of BrandNiquely You. Be able to contact her on her website or on social media. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm sure we'll be in touch. Like I say, we've been always trying to meet and greet, and in various venues. But now I think we got you.
All right. For life.
I love it. See you soon. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Right now. That was Elyshia Brooks. My goodness, I have been wanting to talk with her for a while, and hey, we had it. And for those that don't know her, she's a powerhouse in the Charlotte market in the Queen City. So be sure to connect with her. And if you are so make a choice to join her cohort or raise your hand to apply, please go over there before the classes fill up. And again, I would recommend anyone who's maybe new to the marketplace, wanting to understand how to become their own brand authority, just connect with her. And I'm going to go back to a couple of things that we talked about earlier for those that came on afterwards. I am just full today, so full. I sat back last night and thought about it, but this morning, as I reflected on the Career Master Brunch with the Masters Detroit, the atmosphere, the anointing, the favor that was on the room, the attendees, 100+ people in the room of the Detroit Athletic Club, women and men allies. Hey, we know Detroit showed out and showed up. And so I just want to thank everybody. I love the fact that I have two homes, the Queen City, who does absolutely marvelous and certainly has been a true friend to me. Coming Home Detroit is no second place. They continue to love on us for the women's movement of women in leadership, for women advancing their careers and their lives. We had a ball. Areva Martin, as I mentioned, multi-award winning civil rights attorney, dropped gems. We had, again, Tati Amari from Alive in the D, our MC, Jody Treewala, who's also on Click on Detroit. We just had a house full. Gail Perry Mason, Lindell McEwen, and I can go on, Dr. Sabrina. I'm not going to miss, and I am probably going to miss people, so I'm just going to say, don't count it on my head, but my heart is still full. The Brunch with the Master series is absolutely going gangbusters. We just got an acknowledgement yesterday that Areva Martin is going to want to host this out in Pasadena or Los Angeles, so we'll be going there for the Career Master Brunch with the Masters. And so we've been to New York now, Charlotte, North Carolina, Detroit. We're on our way to California and also to Stamford, Connecticut. I can't tell you what this is doing, the impact that it is making across the nation as women come together in community, collectively at a time where we need each other, where we need to just know that whether it's our own emotional, mental needs right now, we have to know that not being by yourself is important, but to connect with like-minded individuals, a circle of women about the business of their business, doing great in the marketplace and focusing on things that matter, things that matter to help others, things that matter that help themselves, but just the collective impact that is needed. We continue to need to do that today. And so that's what we're doing here at Career Mastered. We have so many other things to announce, but I think I can't hold it, but I'll share it right now. Every 2 years, we provide what's called Top Women Entrepreneurs to Watch. It is something that goes across the globe. We are going to begin the application process for that in the next couple of weeks. So if you are an entrepreneur, you're a woman that certainly is about your business and want to be featured in the Career Master magazine, which is a global publication that we have had now since 2018. I would say continue to follow us on careermaster.com, continue to follow us on LinkedIn as well as on Instagram, and you'll be able to apply. Now, a twist this year is our judges will be selecting the person that applies and meets the criteria that we're looking for to be on the cover of this special edition. Lisa Howes was on the cover of our first inaugural Top Entrepreneurs to Watch. This one will be definitely one that's going to be very competitive because we just finished honoring 100 plus women this year. And now we have over 600 women that we've honored across the nation since we started. So I don't think we have a problem about people that will apply, but I just want to give you the first to know that the Top Entrepreneur Women's to Watch magazine special edition will be out this year. Thank you for joining us. Look forward to talking with you soon next week. And I've enjoyed my time with Elyshia, and I hope you did too. Go back for the replay if you missed anything.